A Florida man is accused of stealing horses to set them free. A drunk man stole a floating tiki hut in Key West. A Florida man stole a car with a baby inside and then dropped it off at a gas station, meaning the baby. And another Florida man and his wife gave beer and marijuana to their teenage babysitter for years, deputies say. These are the weird stories from Florida because it's Friday. This is Weird AF News, the only daily weird news podcast hosted by a comedian, and the only daily weird news podcast that has Florida Friday. All the weird news out of Florida this week. I'm Jonesy, the host. I'm happy you're here. Let's do it.
Those bizarre stories you hear about all the time that seem to only happen here in Florida.
I know, right?
Can't make this stuff up. It is just one of the many wacky news stories out of Florida.
Why does the Sunshine State consistently produce such strange news?
But what accounts for all this bizarre news? Is it the weather? Is it the people?
Florida is full of the crazy stories.
A Florida man is accused of stealing horses, riding them home to set them free. Lake County, Florida. A man is behind bars after the deputies say he tried to free some horses from a local ranch. The county sheriff's office says ranch owners reported several horse stalls were open and the horses were loose. As the horses were being corralled, the owners told deputies they saw a man driving the owner's truck. One of the owners was able to stop the man driving the truck. This guy's name is Mark Anthony Hunt. They detained him until the deputies arrived. Authorities say when the owners asked Mark Anthony Hunt why he opened the stalls, the 55-year-old man told them that he didn't believe the horses should be caged. Let them free. They should be free to roam, these horses. How dare you keep the horses under lock and key? Oh, this is against their nature. It's against Mother Nature. Be free, wild horses, running free. Go, boy. The Fruitland Park man, Fruitland, he's from Fruitland Park? That sounds like a lovely place. It's hard to imagine that any city in Florida could be tasty, but Fruitland Park sounds wonderful. The Fruitland Park man told the owners that he tried to mount one of the horses and ride it home, but it got away from him. Yeah, I tried to mount one of your horses, but it got away from me. What's wrong with these horses? I love how he just divulged all that information. Yep, I was trying to take him home, trying to free him, okay? I do believe the horses should be free. The horses are valued at between $20,000 and $80,000 each. Wow, horses are expensive. The sheriffs took Hunt into custody, and he was booked into the detention center on burglary and grand theft charges. Yeah, well, you're stealing $50,000 horses. That's grand theft, correct? His heart was in the right place, though, this guy, Mark Anthony Hunt. He wanted the horses to be happy and free. He believed that, we should go back in time where all the animals were out of cages. Every time he sees an animal behind bars, he just wants them to be free. Oh, you should see him at the zoo. Oh, he caused a real scene at the zoo. He was trying to free the armadillo. He tried to open the parrots' cages. Free yourselves. Be free. Go out there. Go out into the Florida wilderness and die natural causes by being eaten by an alligator the way you were meant to be, or squeezed to death by the invasive species known as the python, which is all over Florida as well. Actually, on second thought, it's not safe for you out there. Get back in the cages. Back in the cages, everybody. The Florida wilderness is dangerous. It's got crackheads and pythons everywhere. A very drunk man stole a floating tiki hut in the Florida Keys. I got you guys some ambiance right here. Imagine yourselves floating on a tiki hut, drinking in the Florida Keys. In your one hand, you have a fruity beverage with an umbrella. On your left ankle is wrapped a python trying to destroy you. This is the ultimate Florida scene. Oh, yeah. Who is this maniac that stole a floating tiki hut? This guy's my hero. This is one of the greatest things you can do when you're intoxicated, I think. But what I want to know is, why was he found alone? This guy got no friends? I mean, if you're telling your friends, hey, I'm going to go steal a floating tiki hut, who isn't going to join you? I can't understand why he's found all alone. It's just a very sad situation. This guy was jailed after the police found him in a stolen floating tiki hut in Key West. His name is Tyln, T-Y-L-N, which sounds like only half of a name. Come on, police. Find the rest of his name. The police are mounting an investigation into finding this man's rest of his first name. This guy, Tiln Morlang, is age 26, and he was extremely intoxicated, pretty much passed out when they found him alone, slumped over the wheel of a stolen tiki hut boat that belonged to Cruisin' Tikis. Cruisin' Tikis. Cruisin' Tikis, bro. This sounds like a great way to spend your afternoon. Cruisin' Tikis. Get like a dozen of your friends. Get on that tiki boat. Just kind of cruise around the bay. The U.S. Coast Guard found this guy well off the coast. Basically, this boat, it says here, is a bar under a tiki hut on a floating deck. It's powered by a 30-horsepower outboard motor, and it's available to be chartered as a bring-your-own-booze cruise. Oh, that doesn't provide booze? Oh, this guy must have had such a letdown when he jacked a floating tiki bar, and then he got it who knows how far off the coast when he finally realized, oh my God, there's no booze on this thing? Where's the booze? All for nothing. I gotta get back. Oh, this poor guy. What a terrible night. What he probably thought was going to be an amazing time drinking away. Like open bar, open ocean. I'm going to have a fantastic time. It's not even spring break, but I can pretend that it is. I have half of a first name, but that's not going to stop me from having a good time, okay? Captain Tiln was charged with grand theft and resisting arrest. He was quoted as saying, "I'm not going to jail." Yeah, to the officers. "I'm not going to the jail. Get off my property." Moreland was also tased several times by the police. Well, that's what you get for resisting, Tiln. He was tased several times with a stun gun and had to be taken to a medical center because he had some heart problems as a result of the multiple tasings that occurred on his floating Wonderland tiki hut. Oh, man, this is just a bad day. What started out as a great night ended up as a terrible morning for this dude. But, I mean, it's a great advertisement for Cruisin' Tikis, guys. I mean, this sounds like a great way to spend your afternoon. Rent a tiki hut with some friends. Bring some booze. Just have a wonderful time. I don't see bathrooms, though. That concerns me. Where's the bathroom on this floating tiki hut? You just whiz over the side? I need answers here. It's Florida, Florida Friday. Smoke a big fatty and listen to stories about the craziest state in the U.S., baby. A man is accused of stealing a car with a baby inside and then later dropping the child off at a gas station because he cares. This is very similar to the story I did earlier in the week that was out of Oregon, where a carjacker returned the car and the baby to the mother and gave the mother a lecturing on parenting and then drove off. Hilarious. This guy dropped the baby off, not with the mom, but at a gas station, which is a strange tactic, but maybe he has a good reason for this. A Florida man is accused of stealing a car with a baby inside. I just don't understand why these carjackers aren't looking in the back seat before they drive off. It seems like an important aspect of your carjacking method should be to make sure there's nothing in the car that could endanger you or slow you down or be a nuisance. You're carjacking, all right? It's Florida. I mean, you could jump in a car and sit on a needle. There could be an alligator in the passenger seat. Like, you don't look in the windows before you steal cars? How quickly are you jacking cars, carjackers, that you don't have time to look in the windows? You just jump in and speed off? Is this your method? Seems ridiculous to me. I mean, what if you jump in the car, there's another carjacker in the car? Do you not look before you jump in? What if there's 3 nuns in the back seat? Now you got Jesus at your back, breathing down your neck. I mean, these are concerns, I'd imagine. So this man is accused of stealing the car with the baby, driving the car, later dropping off the infant at a gas station. The surveillance video captured shows the suspect, 23-year-old Marquise Hudson, at 3:24 a.m.? That's awfully late to leave your baby all alone in the car. What is going on here? Someone left their baby in the car at 3 a.m.? I mean, it is Florida, but I mean, where was this? What is with the parenting, man, and leaving the kids in the cars all alone? The mother in Oregon left her keys in there, for crying out loud. It's part of my language. Now, the surveillance footage shows the suspect walking around the vehicle, then getting inside and quickly driving away. So, like, what is this guy doing as he walks around the vehicle? Sniffing it? Like, you're not looking inside? You don't see the child? You're walking around the vehicle. Minutes later, the owner of the Kia ran outside the store and noticed his vehicle was gone. What store is this? It's 3:24 a.m. Is this the liquor store? That's all I can imagine. What's open at 3:24 a.m. in Florida? The gun shop, the strip clubs, liquor stores, I'd imagine. What are you doing? After taking the car, Mr. Hudson was captured on surveillance camera at another gas station. Oh, it's a gas station. Well, it didn't say that in the first paragraph. It just says a store. There's a difference between a store and a gas station. Get it together, author of this article. Come on now. Okay, this guy Hudson goes to another gas station, takes the baby out of the car, still in the car seat, goes over to the entrance of the gas station. The doors are locked. He bangs on the door. Now, the clerk comes and says, "What's going on?" According to the clerk, this guy Hudson yelled, "Take this baby! Take this baby!" So I just opened the door and I took the baby. That's what I did. Take this baby. Okay, I'll take the baby. What a hilarious thing. Imagine you're at a gas station. It's late at night. Somebody pounds on the door and says, "Take this baby," and then runs away. So I took the baby. I did all I could. Someone tells you to take a baby, you take the baby. Of course, I called the police from there. I'm not just going to keep the baby, okay? Just because someone says take this baby, they don't mean for life, okay? They don't mean take this baby, raise this baby. They just mean take the baby temporarily, all right? Now, if this guy was like, raise this baby, I would have never opened the door, okay? Because I just don't have time to raise another baby in my life, all right? I got things to do. Now, thankfully, the baby was unharmed. So this gas station attendant was very gentle and nurturing. Investigators say the stolen vehicle was recovered, but the suspect was nowhere to be found. Now, the sorry part about this is I feel as though I have to say this. Don't leave your babies in the cars when you go in stores. Clearly no one's getting the message. You like podcasts? You're listening to my podcast. Maybe you thought to yourself, I'd like to make a podcast. Too difficult. No, not with Anchor. Anchor has free creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast from your phone or your computer. Anchor distributes your podcast to Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, and more. They have advertising integration, so you can even make a little money off your podcast. Everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. And good luck with your podcast. Good luck with your creation. Good luck with your life, man. Yay! A Florida school dean and his wife gave beer and marijuana to their teenage babysitter. 4 years. The dean of a Pinellas County charter school faces charges that he and his wife provided their teenage babysitter and her underage friends with a great amount of alcohol and marijuana for 2 years, deputies say. The couple would often leave the teenager with alcohol and marijuana while she babysat their 2 young children. Go on, have a good time. Do you think our kids are safe in the hands of the babysitter? Yeah, sure. I mean, she's not going anywhere, if that's what you mean. She's just probably going to pass out, you know? The couple would leave the teenager with alcohol and marijuana. Then they would go out to bars and drink themselves, according to the sheriff's office. Then they would come home and then smoke and drink some more with the babysitter, oftentimes with the babysitter's teenage friends. There are some records of text messages between the wife and the husband and the babysitter. Text messages such as, "Get drunk, pass the F out." And, "If you want to smoke, Adam's got weed over here." That would be her husband, Adam Thayer, the dean of students at Pinellas Academy for Math and Science. Wow, the dean of students, imagine. Telling a babysitter, "Come on over, get drunk, pass the F out, I got some weed for you." The dean of students, I'm not surprised. Oh, the teachers and the principals and the deans of these Florida schools, even a charter school here, like look at the degeneracy from the dean. Oh, kids don't have a chance, Now, the babysitter, whose name was not released, says this all started when she was 15 years old and the couples had 5-year-old twins at the time. They would often leave her at home with access to alcohol and marijuana. About a total of 30 to 40 times, she says, over the course of a couple years. The teenager told the authorities she would get so drunk she'd slur her words and have trouble seeing, which means seeing the kids that she's supposed to babysit. She said she probably wouldn't have been able to care for the children in an emergency. She regrets looking back on it. Yeah, probably not. I regret that I wasn't able to really care for those kids in case something happened, like the house was burning or a home invasion occurred. I was pretty wasted at the time. When the couple returned home in the evening, they'd drink some more with the babysitter and let her invite her teen friends over, she says. But the couple also let those friends drive home drunk, according to the sheriff. Deputies say they collected text messages as evidence from the babysitter's phone as well. The babysitter is now 17 years old, and the couple's children are now 7 years old. That's great. That's how you want your babysitter, shit-faced from 8 p.m. to 4 a.m. That's what you want. Taking care of your kids. I mean, doesn't that kind of defeat the purpose of having a babysitter if the babysitter is just passed out and can't do a damn thing? I mean, why even spend the money? You know, not only are you spending the money, you know, giving her an hourly rate, but you're also, you know, buying her marijuana and booze, which is even more costly. At that point, just leave the kids alone and go get wasted yourself, you know? Just go the whole way of being a degenerate parent at that point. Well, the poor kids that had to deal with a wasted babysitter. Can you imagine the horror of your drunk-ass babysitter that can't prepare food for you or answer questions, to really speak at any point during the evening when you might need something? Oh, the Florida kids, they just don't have a shot. They don't have a chance at life. It's just such a shame. Oh, man, you know what we got to do is we got to make sure that Floridians aren't procreating over there. I mean, I don't know how we do this. Maybe make them take an exam before they're allowed to procreate. Is anyone... Jonesy, what is this fascist idea you're coming up with? Hey, man, I'm just trying to save the kids, okay? Hello, my fellow weirdos. I want to thank you for listening to this episode of Florida Friday. I want to thank those of you who sent me Florida articles. They were tremendous. Hope you enjoyed this episode. There was a lot of good stuff coming out of Florida this week. Much love to Melissa Young, who went the distance by buying me some coffees off of the website, weirdafnews.com. Oh, yes, Melissa bought me coffees and wrote me a nice note. It says, "Hey, Jonesy, I've been listening to your show for about a year. I just wanted to tell you how touched I was by your tribute to James. Even though I have never met or even spoken to him, I was moved to tears by his positive attitude and his love for life. My heart goes out to you, Angel. And Jonesy, it's obvious how much you love your listeners by how broken up you were when you tried to tell us about James. I absolutely adore that you are so appreciative of us. I think that is one of my favorite things about you. I appreciate you too." Ah, that's really sweet, Melissa Young. I appreciate you too. And yeah, I appreciate all my listeners. You know, without listeners, there's no show. I mean, one can make the argument that you guys are all just as important as I am. You know, otherwise I'd just be doing a show in a void, and no one would be. Is that what they call it? In a void, in a vacuum? What is it? What is this with this in a vacuum thing? By the way, I mean I hear it all the time, but I don't understand what it means. I'm like, you're inside the Dyson? I don't understand. The files are inside the computer? Yeah, Melissa. You know, I really appreciate the fans of the show, and you know, you know, without you guys, it's nothing. What I'm doing is, you know, I might as well just throw it out the window. It's just, it needs listeners. You know, that's like part of the equation. You guys are just as important as me. So, but thank you so much. That was so sweet. I mean, what you wrote was great. It really made me smile. And of course, I love coffee. Guys, you know I love coffee, right? Hey, I really do love it. You know I love that coffee, right? I do. I also love when I get a new patron. That's right. I got somebody that joined the Patreon. Her name is Kelsey Sidoris. Oh, yes. Thank you so much, Kelsey Sidoris. I appreciate you. I'm going to show you love in my old Southern man voice. Kelsey Sidoris, what you've done has really touched the cockles of my heart here today. I got to tell you, man. It made me want to go outside and go horseback riding with no saddle, just because, you know, like get out there and really feel the horse, you know. You really motivated me, Kelsey, with your support for the Weird AF News. Now, that's a weird thing to say, I realize, but I'm trying to do this character here, as you can see. Seriously, Kelsey Sidoris, who I'm guessing is Greek. Why Greek, Jonesy? Oh, because her last name is an I-S. That's why, Greek. Hello. I might be wrong, Kelsey, but are you Greek? But whether you're Greek or not, I adore you for joining the Patreon. It is, I'm so grateful. I hope you enjoy the extra content, Kelsey, that's in the Patreon. Please go buck wild. Check out all that stuff in there. You're going to definitely laugh. There's more weird and there's more laughter located within the Patreon. And you can unlock the Patreon for as little as $2 a month. That's pretty cheap, right, guys? I mean, $2 a month, really? So go to patreon.com/weirdafnews or go to weirdafnews.com, where you can click on the Patreon banner or the buy a cup of coffee banner as well if you just want to send me some coffee. Got a nice email from Heather Chapasco. She wrote, "Hey, Jonesy, just got to start by saying you bring so much joy and laughs to me and my coworkers every morning. We listen to you over here from the East Coast, so we get it the morning after." She wrote, "I wanted to write about that story, composting bodies. It might be oddly comforting to know that a lot of funeral homes are jumping on the biodegradable urn bandwagon. My dad passed away in 2017, and he loved this lake. So we were able to select this urn that dissolved in the lake and was environmentally friendly. It also looks like the Death Star, so it's kind of awesome. They also have ones for saltwater burials and soil, so you can plant a garden or a tree. Anyways, take care, stay safe. Looking forward to your next show." Heather, that's so sweet. Thank you, Heather, for writing that. That makes me feel good, and it educated me, which I really appreciate. I love to learn, and you guys teach me so many things because, I mean, I'm trying to learn as we go here, and so this is really fascinating that you can buy these biodegradable urns. Man, I had no idea. And you bought one for your dad that looked like the Death Star. I mean, that is so cool. What a great way to commemorate your father with something like a biodegradable urn in the shape of the Death Star. Oh my goodness, that's so fascinating. That's so cool. I would like to do something like that. Thank you, Heather, for sharing that. That was really nice. I really enjoyed that. I got another Heather named Heather Wilson. Oh, I already read your email, Heather. Sorry. I want to say hi to Angie Trafford, who hadn't reached out to me in a while, who just wanted to send her condolences for the loss of James and to send her regards to the Weird AF News family. So thank you for reaching out, Angie. What else? Oh, an email from Jasmine Hodgson on this. Well, this is on Facebook, a Facebook DM. "Hey, Jonesy, greetings from Australia. Love your work. Weird AF is our go-to every day in the car and at home. Just want to let you know you are making many people laugh. You have a great podcast. Hang in there with COVID. Have a great day. Much love from Australia." And then she said, "Could you do me a huge favor, please? It's my husband Ryan's birthday today. He loves your show as much as me. Could you please wish him a happy birthday? He would love that. We love you, Jonesy." Oh, I love you guys too, Ryan and Jasmine. So happy birthday, Ryan and Jasmine in Australia, which is probably a nice place to be right now, I'd imagine. I don't know how the COVID situation is, but it's got to be better than what I'm dealing with here in Los Angeles, for sure. I love my Aussie fans. Big old happy birthday to Ryan. Hope you're having a great weekend. Hope you guys enjoyed the Florida stories. Isn't it nice that I'm introducing people in Australia to the degenerate state of Florida? I feel like I'm doing God's work here. Anyways, if you guys want to reach out to the show via email, it's funnyjones@gmail.com. And also you can call the show 646-450-2012. Hope you guys have a great weekend. See you Monday. Yeah.